Welcome back to the Boyz and Ball podcast. If you'd like to hit the like button, subscribe. Let's go. All right. The Power Six of college basketball, the big boys. We're gonna jump right into it. The ACC. Who do y'all think goes far in this tournament? Let's start off with that. Who wins some games in this tournament?
Clemson.
Just Clemson. I mean, I like Pitt. I like Pitt in this tournament. I think they got real hot towards the end of the season. I mean, they lost a couple games late, but they were all close any games that they did lose. So I think you could at least see them, beating Georgia Tech, and I think possibly Duke setting up for a game, probably against Miami on that side of the bracket. So that's my take. The team that they're number 5, so most people probably have them losing to Duke in the tournament.
Yeah, I like Pitt. I mean, they had a little slump at the end of the season. I think they definitely need to, if they want to get a higher seed, they definitely need to make a run in this tournament. But I think they're still a lock to be probably somewhere between a 4 to a 6. But my team here, I'm going to ride with offense. Miami is one of the most prolific offenses in college basketball this year. They put up points. I'm not in love with any other team in this conference. So I'm going to roll with Miami here. I think Miami's going to take it, go on a little run. I don't really see any big upsets from the 10 to 16 in this conference. I think all these teams are going to lose to those upper seeds. I don't think there's the big upset in that range in this conference.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for me, my pick was it's actually kind of a pick I'm not really happy about making, but I'm kind of pulling towards Clemson. This is kind of their best season that they've had in recent memory, probably ever since I've been in the area. And just PJ Hall, you got Chase Hunter. This is Hunter Tyson's 7th year in college. They just have a ton of experience. And same with the other guy, Brevin Galloway. He's been in there for about 7 years now too, it seems like. So I just think Clemson's experience, the way they can shoot the ball, if they get hot, they honestly can be a really deadly team to make it all the way to the championship game. It just depends on their defense for Clemson.
Okay, all right. Who do y'all boys have to take in this conference?
Yeah, first.
Clemson.
Clemson. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do they play? Who do they play in the championship game for this conference?
I think we could be looking at a Clemson, I guess Duke or Miami type of situation. I'd honestly think that Clemson could be this random team in the ACC to go win it all this year. I really do. It's not a strong conference, top heavy.
I could probably see Clemson Duke, most likely.
Clemson Duke. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Miami Pitt in that Final Four on the top side, and give me Clemson Virginia. I'm not in love with NC State or North Carolina. I think this conference, unfortunately, I think it's gonna end 1-2.
Yeah.
Virginia Miami wins.
All right, wow. I'm taking Pitt all the way. Same kind of setup. Miami Pitt up top, Virginia Clemson. But I think, I think Virginia definitely comes out of the bottom, like JT says. But obviously, I'm riding with my Pitt boys. So I'm going to take Pitt winning it out.
Okay. All right. Out of the ACC, we've listed our winners. Who makes the tournament out of this conference? How many teams get in, and what are those teams?
I think right now that they're looking at anywhere from 7 to 8 teams. And that 8th team is probably, depending on their record and situation, it's going to be the first team that's out, but still has an opportunity to get in.
Okay. I think it's a 6 team, maybe 7 if North Carolina puts on a good showing. Actually, it's probably a 7 team bid here. I think North Carolina is going to get in, but they haven't played well as of late, and I don't see them doing anything in this tournament, but I think that probably that top 7 gets in. I don't think Wake Forest makes it in. Syracuse, Boston College, Virginia Tech, I don't think any of those teams are making it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wake Forest has a chance if they keep winning in the ACC tournament.
If they keep winning, yes.
Yeah, they have to keep winning. But yeah, we mentioned Syracuse. They lost today to Wake Forest. So as we're recording the pod, but yeah, I think it's going to be 7 teams. That top 7.
Okay. Any other opinions there? We all riding with 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 7.
7. All right. Well, I mean, the next conference up, the big boy conference, the conference they're talking could, put in 80% of their conference.
Yeah,
The Big 12. I
yeah,
mean, this conference is very top heavy, but the middle of the pack is not bad. I'm very intrigued by the Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Those two teams, if they do something in this tournament, will get themselves bids in. I think the top 6 are locked for sure. Um, and I mean, there's even talk about Texas Tech making the tournament,
yeah.
and they're 5-13 in conference. So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, if they make a run here, show the committee what they can do, upset a couple teams, you could talk about 9 out of the 10 teams going.
No, yeah. I mean, I could totally see them getting about 9 teams in, 10 teams in.
That's
I don't
pretty
think
wild.
Oklahoma has a shot. I don't. They've got
I
a
don't think.
couple wins. Ooh, they beat Bama, but like they've just been so bad this year.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah,
they're in the same spot as win wise as Texas Tech.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, Texas Tech has lost their last 4, so that probably took them out of contention.
yeah,
But I don't know. Texas Tech has looked better. Oklahoma has been so wildly sporadic this year, where they'll go 30 ball Alabama, and then they'll get 30 balled by the school for the blind and deaf. Like it makes no sense.
Oklahoma was supposed to be positioned to be a decent team too in the league. Porter
Yeah.
Mosier, guy from Loyola Chicago, he's the coach there. And they got some good transfers, but it just never clicked this year for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma's always a team. Like they'll be fine next year. It was just a down year. Not things didn't work out.
Yeah,
I don't think they have a chance of making the tournament unless they win the Big 12.
yeah,
Like, that's the
they would have to win the Big
that's the
12.
yeah. But I think top 7 for sure gets in. And depending on what, honestly, I think West Virginia is in over Oklahoma State for me. I think it depends on what Oklahoma State and Texas Tech do
Mm-hmm.
in that
There's the
tournament.
2 outlier teams for sure.
I mean, but Oklahoma State did click late. They went on that run, not exactly at the end of the season, but they went on that big run that brought their season up a lot. I think
Mm-hmm.
that gave them a lot of momentum to make it. But I also feel like some of that was they played TCU when Miles was injured, and they kind of just had that perfect schedule that the teams they played had a couple injuries. They weren't at their best. They got a couple good wins, and uh, I don't know. I think if they make it in, they're probably an 11 seed, probably a
Yeah.
play-in 11 seed, not anything special. All right, in the bracket, who do y'all boys got winning some games in this tournament?
Where we at the Big 12?
Big 12.
I like Kansas State. That's the team that I have to watch. Marcus Knoll, Keontae Johnson. He's up for the Julius Erving Award this year, best small forward in the country. A really good story, with him collapsing at Florida, then a year later going to Kansas State. And now he's, leading Kansas State at, one of the top 25 best teams in the country. At one point, they were top 10. I would just look out for Kansas State. They're dangerous. They have the ability to knock down shots. They have the athletes to defend. They can match up with Kansas really well, and that's the team to beat in that conference, of course,
Yep.
year in and year out. So, and obviously, being that rivalry, they know each other really well. So, I would just look out for Kansas State to win some games, but to also go to the championship game and have a shot.
Okay, I think you're absolutely right with Kansas State. They have the firepower that on any given night they can drop almost 100
Yeah,
on any team. Doesn't matter who it is.
yeah,
I think that there's some questions about their defense if it shows up. because there's a lot of games this year where they scored 90, but they gave up 85.
Mhm.
You know, and when you get to the tournament, I don't know if you're scoring 90 in the tournament, maybe in the first round, but after that, you're not putting that up. It's defense comes to play.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm gonna have to say that my pick for the Big 12 is Texas. Blind pick here.
Okay. So I mean, they're going to be matched up with Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Maybe Oklahoma State can get them.
I think that's a
But-
really good pick, to be honest.
Yeah, Texas is
I
solid.
expect them to. I expect them to win their conference tournament.
Marcus Carr, Tyrese Hunter, they're really good guards. They shoot the ball well. And then Timmy Allen, he's a I think he's a fifth year guy. He's been around for a while, plays that combo forward kind of position for them. Texas is a good sleeper, Bruce. I think that's a good team to watch out for in the Big 12 tournament.
I might even like it for some betting purposes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're going to make the tournament, so like the big dance. And so I would definitely put my chips towards them.
Yeah.
My sleeper for this tournament is West Virginia. I like the scrap that West Virginia always plays with year in and year out.
Huggy.
Bob Huggins just, I mean, there's not another team in college basketball that you look at and you go, he's damn near going to full court press you the entire game. It's just at that level, you just don't see it. So it's kind of fun to watch.
Mhm.
They're always scrappy, tough defensive team. I think they have a decent shot at upsetting Kansas. I think this is a team that they can upset anyone on any given night. My sleeper is West Virginia to do some damage in this tournament.
Okay.
But my more realistic pick is I think the championship game is Kansas TCU. Kansas takes it home.
Okay. TCU, that's a bold pick.
Yeah. Get ballsy out here,
Yeah, I hear
A
you.
little wild. Dan, who you got?
I like K-State in this tournament. I think they're gonna, beat TCU, have themselves a nice little scrappy game against Texas. Probably see Kansas in the finals for their conference tournament. But ultimately, I got K-State coming out, and
Oh,
but
y'all
I
are
just
basic.
really like the way K-State played this year.
Y'all are
What,
basic.
Bruce?
Y'all are base.
We're all
Y'all
basic.
taking K-State. Yeah. All y'all taking K-State.
I didn't take
Well,
K-State.
Oh, okay.
I said TCU was going to beat K-State in the first game.
Oh, okay.
I
All
said
right.
K-State first.
So how about you? Go fuck yourself.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Judy, safe picks. Safe picks. We like that out here.
You picked the number 2 seed, Bruce. What are you talking about? Safe picks.
Nah, bro, they're an underdog in the tournament coming up, bro.
oh my God.
Ah, okay.
All right, yeah.
Come horns, bro.
Stupid. All right. The outlier of the Power 5, but still in the Power 6 college basketball, the Big East. This is that conference that they're gonna put 5 to 6 teams into the tournament every year, and you don't want to see those teams when it comes tournament time. It's Marquette will get you, Xavier will get you, Creighton has gone on some runs. Butler, a couple years ago was doing their thing, going to the championship. This year, how many teams make it from the Big East? 5? Okay.
Counting in my head, I really kind of like that 5 to 6 range for them.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at 6.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Villanova did enough late. They're kind of hot. If
They
can
still
go
have to win a couple games.
They have to win a couple games in this tournament, but
Yeah.
I think they can do it. I mean, they start out with Georgetown. I don't think they're going to have an issue with Georgetown. I just pulled it up. They are not having an issue with Georgetown. They are blowing Georgetown out.
Yeah,
So
Georgetown's awful.
yeah,
Terrible.
Georgetown's terrible. I don't understand what happened to Georgetown. They used to be an elite basketball school, and it has not been that way in a while.
Yeah, I mean, they had 3 Hall of Famers on the same roster at one point back in the 80s.
Yeah.
80s and 90s. They had Ewing, Morning, and Mutombo.
That sounds dirt nasty.
Yeah, but I hate Georgetown. I'm a Syracuse fan.
Yeah, it's like that.
Well, it's nice
Okay.
to see them be a lot worse than us.
A lot worse. Yeah, ripping 7 wins on the year. Yeah.
They're a lot worse than
Yeah, a
us.
lot
Yeah,
worse. Yeah, I was laughing like, yeah, like no shit,
yeah.
Uh, I think this conference for sure has 5 locked. I think Providence has been good enough at that 5 seed out of this tournament. I think they make it. There are a lot of questions about Providence. They have not played well on the road. They've really only played well at home,
They just
and
got blown out at home.
they lost 2 games late on two home games late in the year. So I think Providence is not trending in the right direction, but their resume for this year is good enough they will make the tournament.
Yeah. Bryce Hopkins, he's a fringe Big Ten or Big East player of the year. I mean, they have enough experience that they can go into the tournament. You're talking about, not wanting to face a Big East team. They're definitely that type of team that you do not want to face because their experience, Ed Cooley, he's been there for a while. He knows how to coach. He's been there before, and he's got experience at every single level, every position that they got. So I'm not worried about them. Maybe not
Depending
in the
on
Big
depending
East, but
on depending on matchups, I don't know if they make it out around to 32.
depends. So we'll
If
see.
they have the right matchups, yeah, this team can go places. But if they get a tough matchup in the second round, I think they're going down.
And they went far last year, and I think this is a better team.
Okay. I think college basketball as a whole is better this year though.
Yeah. Say that.
All around skill. All right, boys. Conference tournament. Or I'm sorry, Dan, how many teams do you have getting in?
5.
5? Bruce had 5. Me and Tootie were sitting. Tootie's 5 to 6. I'm sitting at 6. Into this conference tournament, who does damage in the Big East? Who cements? Who punches a ticket?
Marquette punches the ticket, 100%. It's going to be 1 versus 2. One knocks off 2.
I know I just talked up Providence, that my team, not only to win the Big East or to make it to the championship game, but to also go into the tournament, have some redemption last year because they had some injury issues last year. It's the Creighton Jayhawks or the Blue Jays, excuse me. I got them going far. I got a lot of money on them. I might even put something on them to win the whole thing this year.
Okay, I like the Creighton pick. I
Dude,
like
he's
that.
putting out a second mortgage to throw down on that bet,
Yes. Yes.
I like Creighton. I think one of the toughest matchups in this tournament is going to be for Creighton in this first round for them. They're going to play Villanova. That's the team that's hot in this conference right now. It's going to be a tough game. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that one. If Creighton gets past that, I think they take down Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's it. I mean, just they have that starting 5. When it comes to tournament play in March, where you really are running the 7-man rotation, they have the best starting lineup really in that conference, top to bottom, if you really want to look at it. Nemhard, he's an elite point guard. You got Trey Alexander, a good 2. Baylor Shireman, he's going to be a second-round pick this year. Arthur Kuluma, he's another guy, probably early second round, late first round. I'm really high on him as an NBA prospect. And then you got the big man, 7-foot Kalkbrenner. He can kind of do it all. He's a smart, heady player, and they missed him last year when he got hurt. So I think Creighton's a team that, they've been up and down this whole season, but this is going to be the time where they kind of turn it on.
okay, I'm going to roll the dice here. I'm going to go a Creighton, a UConn, Big East championship game, and I think give me the Huskies. Give me the Huskies in that game.
Okay.
Interesting.
Dan, who you got?
It's with like a heavy heart. I say this, but I'm picking the Creighton Blue Jays as well.
Let's go.
Has the Providence
the
bandwagon died?
The Providence bandwagon has died.
They didn't win enough games. He's got to hop to a better team.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was the 2 losses at home that really did it for me. It's seeing that they didn't beat Xavier that second time. It was like kind of like where I was just like, okay, cool. Like I agree with JT. Like maybe they'll catch on like a nice first round, but like they're not going to be a team that makes it far in the NCAA tournament. I don't Like I don't see them beating Marquette if they get past UConn. Like I think it's gonna be a tough schedule for them and whoever they have to play. And I really like Creighton, and they're like you said, they're just that team that can just beat anyone given any
Yep.
day. So that's why I like
Agreed.
Creighton coming out, and I think it's gonna be Creighton Marquette coming into the finals.
Okay. All right. Then you have Creighton taking it.
I have Creighton taking it.
I like it.
Okay. Some hot takes. Bruce, I'm sorry. You had Marquette winning it. You said it was a 1v2, so you have them
Yeah.
playing Xavier.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to clarify on that. All right.
1v2.
1v2. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page here. I wanted to reshuffle that one real quick.
I really appreciate the clarification.
Yeah. The Big Ten. Now this is a conference I struggle the most with here. Looking at this conference, I'm like, this conference has 9 teams that you could say could make the tournament, but the reality is, I think this conference maybe gets 6, and it's going to depend on a lot of tournament play. I think Maryland, Illinois, Michigan State, Indiana, Northwestern, and Purdue are probably the 6 that come out of this conference.
Yeah.
I know Iowa's the 5th seed ahead of Maryland and Illinois, but I just like Illinois and Maryland's records so far this season a little bit better.
I agree.
I think Michigan's a little too far down. You could say Rutgers, but Rutgers was really a first half of the year team. They've not played well as of late, kind of fallen off. Went from 2nd in the Big Ten down to 10th. So I mean, I think this is a 6 team. Iowa could possibly play themselves into the tournament and give the Big Ten 7. The Big Ten's probably a 6 to 7 where they're sitting. What do you all boys think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's around this, 7, maybe even 6, depending on where people shake up. Not a lot of teams. I don't think there's a lot of teams that are necessarily extremely dangerous. I think this is almost like this is the conference that has the teams on paper that should win these games in their conference and then in the big dance. But Purdue's been upset by Northwestern and Illinois choked some games and you just have some the top 10 teams in this conference have lost some bad games. So it just makes me feel like they might have all this momentum going into the big tournament, but I could see Illinois, Purdue, losing early, and I could also see teams like Indiana, Northwestern make a run.
Agreed. I think if Illinois wants to make it to the dance, I think they need to upset Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Maryland where they're sitting, I think I think they're good. They just need to win their first round game. I feel like they're in if they win that.
Yeah, Maryland's in. They were ranked for a good bit of the season anyways. So I think Maryland's safe pick in.
Yeah. Who does damage in this tournament?
I like Northwestern.
Northwestern? Okay.
That's my team I'm banking on. I think they've been sneaky. They're just playing better basketball in the second half of the season. So that's really what matters.
Okay. Bruce, who you got doing damage?
Well, here's the thing. So whenever we talk about the Big Ten at any point in time, all rhyme and reason goes out the window because I will always root for my Buckeyes. Regardless of how good or bad they are, I will be pulling for those Buckeyes.
OH.
IO.
Hell yeah. I'm in Bruce's boat here. I'm rooting for Ohio State. Now, I'm not dumb enough to say they're going to come out here and win the Big Ten. I don't think it's going to happen. The team has not played well this year. Okay, we started what 11-3, and
they beat Wisconsin. They beat Wisconsin.
They
right?
beat Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have Iowa tomorrow. But the hope is we take down Iowa. go crazy, take down Michigan State, knock off
Yeah.
Purdue, take out Northwestern, put it on the table and say, "Give me my bid." But the reality of the situation is
Purdue's going to win. That's the
probably
reality.
gonna lose tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like, if I'm
By
not
30.
picking Ohio State here, then I am going to ride with Purdue.
Okay.
Them Boilermakers, but I will be rooting for the Buckeyes until they're eliminated.
My sleeper team is Illinois. I like Illinois this year.
Yeah,
That's my team. I think could upset Northwestern. And my pick to win the Big Ten. Give me Indiana.
I'll take Purdue.
Yeah.
I like the Indiana pick. I do like
Yeah,
Indiana.
give me Indiana to win the Big Ten.
Jalen, what's his first name? Is it Jalen? I just hit Hood Shafino. He's worked his way into He's worked his way into the first round.
I think he is the second best player in college basketball this year.
You think he's better than Tracy Jackson Davis on his own team?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Tracy Jackson Davis that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, no. Tracy Jackson Davis, I think, is the second best player in college basketball this year behind Zach Edey. And I think I don't know. Purdue struggled too much for me to really want to ride with them to make a run through this tournament. I think they're going to slip up somewhere. I think Indiana's that scrappy team that's just going to take everyone down.
Yeah, they're a good team, man. They look
think
good.
They're going to play themselves into a 2 or 3 seed in this tournament.
Okay.
My pick is I'm taking Maryland coming out of the Big Ten, all the way from the bottom.
All right.
All the way from the bottom.
They beat Northwestern. They beat Purdue. I think they could do it again both times. Like you said, the scrappy boys in Indiana. That's probably gonna be their. I think if they beat Indiana, I think you definitely see them have a real good shot at winning.
Oh yeah! Hey boys, we got a special guest.
Oh,
It's my college roommate Noah Zion. He joined at the perfect time. We're hitting the SEC now. Noah, who's your squad?
Well, unfortunately, due to a sperm donor and back in 1997, it's Kentucky.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! How your Wildcats going to do in this conference tournament here, Noah?
I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna hit you with a couple points, and I'm gonna dip out. We're just gonna put the kid to bed because like my friend Tootie and some others, we decided to not use protection. Anyway, so I biasedly going to say Kentucky's going to win it, but here's the thing: unbiased, just a regular sports guy. I've got 2 takes that I think are going to be controversial, but for one, it's not going to be Alabama or Tennessee that's going to win it, and secondly, I think it's going to be someone like a Vandy or like a Georgia. I think it's going to be someone to come out of the woodwork to win it. I don't know what it is, but Vandy, they got hot right there at the right time, man. And I have this feeling that Vandy might do something. Georgia might be the one too, but it's going to be someone that's going to be unexpected. And Kentucky might fit in that category, but it's going to be someone I think is going to be unexpected. It's just going to come out of the woodwork. What year was it? Was it like 2006 when they had like the tornadoes at the Georgia Dome? And then like Georgia played like 3 or 4 games in like a 48-hour period to win it all.
Mm-hmm.
Was something like that? Y'all remember anything about that?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not maybe not something quite like that, but it's gonna be something I think that's just gonna be out of nowhere, and everybody's gonna be like, "Huh?" So
Okay.
that's kind of the take there. I'll tell you this much for sure too, and I don't know if y'all have gotten this, but I'll just go ahead and put it out there. I think that who's going to win the national champion, I really do believe that at some point it's gonna be like I think Purdue is gonna get up there, but I don't know, man. I haven't watched really enough like of the other guys to really figure it out, but I can't think of it's gonna be. I don't know, man. That one's tough. I thought I had an idea, but maybe I don't. I would like to see Purdue make a run for it. I really would.
Okay. All right. Well, Noah, we appreciate you hopping in, giving a little
for sure.
Kentucky bias. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, brother.
Tootie, I'll have to hit you up a little bit later, but I got through the album. It's pretty good. Y'all
Young
fellas
Nudie,
take
baby.
care.
Gumbo.
Yeah. Hey, I'll leave you with this. So, Calipari, I will admit, I wanted his job at the first of the year, and then over time he kind of growed on me. And one thing that I do like about Calipari, JT has seen me cry in my dorm room probably more times than I'd like to admit, just in the frustration that he's heard. But one thing about the guy, somehow, some way, every year he ends up being right. He says it all year. We just got to get to February. We just got to get to February. We got to get to March. We got to get to these months where it's going to matter. And it's like somehow, some way, he always ends up being right. And he ends up getting to like this like February, March, April, that type of time frame where he ends up pulling something out of his ass. And I really do hope that we do well. But at the end of the day, I would be shocked if we made it to the Sweet 16. So that's it, guys. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one.
Hey,
All right,
you too,
brother.
boss.
See you
Appreciate you,
later,
my
JT.
brother.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you, bro.
I'm gonna leave this thing. There we go. Up, hold on.
Dude, that was awesome.
I fucking love Noah, dude.
Yeah, he just was talking to me on Instagram about like my story, the song I posted. That's funny.
Fucking, oh, what a
I was
quote.
like, dude, who's joining this? Because I actually changed my camera now where I can see all of y'all.
Hell yeah. I love how it didn't stop the whole Big Ten conversation. We just kept rolling while Noah's just like setting up in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
He just pops in fucking shirt off. Fucking.
Shirt off, ready to go.
Turn off says I'm picking
Gotta
Kentucky.
put the kid to bed.
If that ain't a Kentucky fan, I don't know what is.
Yeah, didn't even pick Kentucky. Picked Vandy and Georgia, who Georgia's like losing, I think. Love it.
All I know is in the SEC, I'm taking out Bama.
You're taking Bama coming out of the SEC.
Bama.
You just talked to Tootie about safe picks, and you're coming out here and you're ripping 1s and 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Nick Saban's at Alabama, he didn't help them win.
That makes sense. Honestly, it's good logic. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, no problem. Only here with sound arguments.
Okay. Well, talking about the tournament, Tootie, who do you have doing damage in this tournament and then making it to the championship game and winning this thing?
Well, this is something that I kind of struggled with just because I like some of these SEC teams. I really like Tennessee, Alabama, of course. I really do like Kentucky. I've been talking to some of my friends that are Kentucky fans, just kind of talking them up because I'm a big Cason Wallace fan. I think he's a guy that, as a Utah Jazz guy, I really want to see, us maybe hone in on picking him up. I think he's a good facilitator, good playmaker, and as he keeps on working on that shot, he could be something special. But just in this tournament, making a run, I'm trying to think really with my head and not my heart. I think Arkansas is going to be the team to watch. Anthony Black is one of my favorite players in the country, a 6'7", 6'8", point guard, small forward, can bring the ball up, can guard multiple positions, has really good vision for a freshman, and I just like their roster top to bottom. Jordan Walsh, he's another guy, 6'7", 6'8", small forward. He can guard 1 through 5. It just helps in March to have that versatility at a lot of your positions. And when you're taller and bigger than most of your competition, that makes it easier too.
That's fair there. This is another conference I struggled with here because there's a couple teams in this conference that I like. I really like Mississippi State. I think it's one of those, again, a grit and grind team. They have not played the best basketball throughout the year, but they have shown up and they have beaten good teams. And I think this is a team, if you let them into March Madness, they're gonna take 1 or 2 teams down that they really shouldn't take down. But I don't think they have enough to win the tournament altogether. One of the teams that's really been growing on me is the Aggies.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M's starting to grow on me. I was really 50-50 on that team as they started to ascend up to the top of that conference throughout the year. It kind of felt out of nowhere. I was like, they It wasn't making sense to me. And then they started ripping off games where, they lost to Kentucky in the middle of the year, but then they beat Auburn, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Alabama to end the year. And I'm like, okay, this is a team. This isn't a fluke, good, easy non-conference schedule, the right schedule, early conference. Like, no, this is a good team. And I think I want to ride with them. Alabama's a little too, I don't know. I like Alabama. I think they'll do damage in the tournament, but I don't think that Alabama is going to put together an elite stretch throughout all conference tournament play and then into the tournament and go on that run in the tournament. I think this is a team that they respond to losing. And you see throughout the year, they'll rip off 5, 6, 7 wins in a row, and then they'll drop a game that they shouldn't. And then Alabama comes out, and then they destroy everybody for the next 4 or 5 games. I think the same thing is going to happen in this tournament. I think they're going to get upset in this tournament, and then when they get to the big boy tournament, they're going to go on a run. They're going to take some teams down. So
I like that take.
I'm going Texas A&M to win it all.
Okay, nice.
I like the Bulls.
Damn.
Yeah, I like the Bulls in this. I just think they're a super solid team. I feel like they got a bunch to prove because they had a real hot start to the season. They got ranked pretty high, and then they lost a couple games, and they kind of never really returned back to the top of the SEC. So I really like them, and I think they're a tough team to watch, a good team to watch, tough team to play against, especially in this tournament.
Yeah, my one issue with Tennessee is their offense. They're a great
they get
defensive
super
team.
stale. Super stale.
They just go through stretches throughout games where they just can't score. And I talked about on the other end in conference tournament and in the NCAA tournament, you need defense, but you also need offense. And I feel like Tennessee does not have enough offense for them to be a title contender this year. I don't think their defense is that stifling that they're going to win and go, all the way through the SEC and then into the tournament, make a run in the tournament just off of defense alone. I just don't think it's going to happen. All right. Wow, boys.
Last but not least.
Well, hold on. Almost forgot something. How many teams make it out of the SEC?
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah, I could see 6 as well.
I would kind of lean towards 7, to be honest. I think the teams like Missouri get in. I think Missouri gets in. I think Vandy wins a couple games. They have an opportunity. I'm trying to think of all the teams just down the list in my head. But
so 7 would put Auburn in. That'd be the 7th team. So 5 is Bama, Texas, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, then Vandy. So I'm just saying basically ranked off where they are.
Where's Missouri at?
Missouri's technically 4th in the conference.
Okay.
So.
Missouri's 3rd or 4th. Tennessee's 5th. Vanderbilt's 6th. I actually to me, I like Mississippi State over Auburn.
Yeah.
To make it into the tournament.
Okay.
I think this is going to be probably a 7, maybe 8, depending on how. If we get some upsets, if Mississippi State or Auburn just go on a tear, or Florida for that matter either, go on a tear into the SEC, they're going to make it in.
Well, I'm just telling you, boys, the amount of predictions you've made for people to make it is more than 32 already.
Yeah.
More than 32?
Absolutely.
There's playing games.
Yeah. But I'm saying, just make straight bids. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. To the next conference. The last conference. The Pac-12. Now, this is a conference. I don't know if that many teams make it. This is a conference I think is flirting. You said what?
I just think this conference sucks.
Yeah, I think this is like a 4-team conference.
But do you know who does make it out of this conference?
What?
UCLA makes it out of this conference, bro.
Yeah.
They're projected to be the number 1.
Bro,
They just lost their key player, a guy, who he's the best defender. He's the best perimeter defender and maybe the best defender in college basketball in Jalen Clark. And he's out for the season with Achilles injury. That is going to be major for UCLA. They might not even get the 1 seed anymore just because of that. You know, their record might show that they could be a 1 seed, but losing him, I mean, I don't think they're going to win the Pac-12.
Well, all I know
Arizona's
is
a tough team.
They're on a 10-game win streak. They're 17-0 at home, so I'm going to ride with UCLA. Who cares about injuries? Ride the hot hand. Let's go.
Okay. Well, let's hop back. Let's take a step back real quick. We got Bruce's prediction. Tootie, how many teams make it from this conference?
I really think we're sitting at 5 with this conference.
Okay.
You know, I like Arizona. Obviously, UCLA we talked about. Utah is going to have to win tonight. I'm not sure where that score is right in front of me. That's a team that if they can win some games in the Pac-12, they can make a run. But this conference just isn't that strong. I mean, USC has an opportunity, but
Utah's down 9 with 17 to go in the second.
17 seconds.
17 minutes to go in the second.
Oh, 17 minutes to go. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams like Oregon that were supposed to be a lot better. Washington was supposed to have a better year this year, Colorado, and they never really panned out. So, I don't think there's a lot of teams out of the Pac-12.
No, I think Oregon's questionable to me. I feel like I would rather take Arizona State over Oregon at this exact moment. I need to see Oregon do something in this tournament. I think USC, Arizona, UCLA, I think they're locked in. I think all 3 of those teams are going. The rest of that underneath that, I think is questionable. I think if Oregon loses and it's not a good loss in their first game, they might be getting a number 1 seed to the NIT.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oregon's not that great, man. I mean, they had a star-studded class too. I mean, they're underperforming tremendously.
Yeah, I don't love this conference. I think it's very top heavy in UCLA and Arizona, and even USC, who's 22-9 on the year. I don't think they're compared to all the other teams that have like 22 plus wins. They are, I think, by far the worst. I just don't love this team. I don't think this conference is going to do well in March Madness outside of Arizona and UCLA.
I like Arizona to go far this year as well. Not UCLA anymore. Losing Jalen Clark, man, is massive.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Arizona this year. They're, 5-1 against top 25 teams. They show up when it matters. This is a team that they're poised to go on a run here. I think they're a team that watch out for them to make it to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, possibly even the championship game with the right matchups.
No.
All right. Conference tournament. Who takes it?
UCLA.
Or, I'm sorry. Who's the sleeper? Who does damage?
Who's the sleeper? Who does damage?
Dude, you got one?
Yeah, it doesn't really help that they're playing right now, but my team to do some damage is Utah. They have the size. I can't remember their big man off the top of my head right now, but they have a really good big man. And the guard play has always been good from Utah, so I like them to be sneaky.
Yeah,
but
Brandon Carlson.
Carlson, that's right.
He's got half the points right now.
He's got what?
He's got 16 of their 27.
Yeah, so I really really like him.
Yeah.
I just think that Utah can, if they win tonight, they can sneak up on some people. I don't see them winning at all, but they could do some damage.
Okay.
I like Washington State.
Okay.
They're on a little bit of a little bit of a run. They just beat Cal, and they play Oregon tomorrow, which they beat Oregon last week or something like that. So I could see them easily coming in again and taking care of business, and then going to see UCLA in the the semifinals. So
okay. My sleeper is Arizona State. I said I think I would take Arizona State over Oregon. I think Arizona State is going to beat Oregon State. I think they can beat USC. I think this is a team they can make it to the Final Four of this conference tournament. I think it's a tough matchup to beat Arizona. But if they beat USC in good enough fashion and then have a great game with Arizona, it might just punch them a ticket to the tournament.
Yeah, I like that pick.
But I think Arizona wins the tournament.
I do. I like Arizona, man.
Just
They got
thinking,
the two best big men in that conference. Can't remember the white guy's name, but Omar, the big man, the other guy that they well, Google
For
Dana
who?
will help
Sorry.
me out. But their two big men are good. Omar Bello, he's good. Is that his name?
For which team?
Arizona.
Arizona. Oh, yeah. I mean, their big men are good.
And then I like Pele Larson. He's good too. 6'7", crafty guard.
I mean, I really like their forward Tubelis. I think.
Tubelis, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
other guy.
I just think like Arizona always seems to get those foreign players.
He
They just
reminds
come
me
in.
of Markkinen.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Lauri Markkinen.
A little
It
bit
just,
heavier, but he reminds me of Markkinen a lot.
yeah. I mean, he just gets buckets. I honestly love Arizona's roster. I think it's just a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I agree.
Gonna be a
I
problem.
agree.
But Dan, did you make your pick for who wins it all?
No, I got Arizona winning it all.
Okay. All right, boys. I want to end off on a hot note. Off the cuff, right now, who wins March Madness? Who takes home the whole thing?
The super early March Madness.
Super early March Madness champion pick.
All right, I'm going to go with Syracuse.
Well,
That's
I
not.
mean,
Okay, wow, that's a terrible
Thanks
pick.
to you, Bruce. They are out of the tournament.
You're welcome, bro.
Nice. Dan, who you got?
Syracuse, next question.
You got one for us, Dan?
I'm gonna say Houston. I think Houston.
Okay.
You know, they've had a couple tough years before, but I think this is their year.
All right, Tootie.
I want to make two picks.
Okay.
One that goes to the Final Four,
Mhm.
but the one that then I have another one that will win the whole thing. I got I got the Creighton Blue Jays going all the way, man, and I got them winning the entire thing. That's my team. I talked about in the Big East segment. I love that starting five. They were so deadly in the tournament last year. I think they're going to turn it up this year again. They have more experience. They're all healthy. But the team that I have, now I'm going to slip in, Elite Eight or Final Four is Florida Atlantic University. The mid-major, the mid-major wizard had to come on here and throw one in there, even on this, Power Six conference podcast. But I got Florida Atlantic going all the way, making a deep run.
Okay. All right. Okay.
JT.
Hate that. I think I got three teams that I think are the best chance to win the tournament this year. It's going to be some shitty picks, but I think Houston has a good shot. If you just look at it from analytics stance, they hit every marker you need to hit for a championship caliber team this year.
Mhm.
And there's only a couple this year. The other team I think is going to be a problem is Kansas. There's that's going to be a tough one. I really do like the Creighton pick. I don't know if they go to the championship game though. I think it's a really good team. I think they're going to do a ton of damage in the tournament, but I don't know if I have them going that far. And Arizona. Arizona's my third team. I think those are my three teams to watch out for. Those are the three teams that you'll probably see in the Final Four, barring that, one's a 2 seed in the conference with Kansas or Houston, or, and that's out of the bracket.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, boys, thank you for checking into the Boyz and Ball podcast. This has been the Power Six segment. Wow.